Hey friends and not yet friends. Ever since I went vegan, I've been talking about veganizing this particular favorite from Hong Kong style bakeries. That is, Gai Pie, also known as Chinese mini chicken pies. Luckily for the birds, this vegan version tastes exactly the same as the original and is a bit healthier, but only a little bit because this pastry is meant to be super rich and indulgent. The crust is different from regular pie crust, more like a shortbread and a bit on the sweet side. It's perfect with the creamy, savory filling on the inside. The ingredient list for this recipe is a bit longer than my usual, but if you miss Gai Pie at all, it is totally worth it, trust me. Start by selecting your vegan chicken alternative. This recipe is a total dupe for the original if you use vegan chicken. If and only if you can't get that, go for tofu or oyster mushrooms. Oyster mushrooms are awesome because they have their own delicate umami flavor when cooked, and the fibrous stems even resemble chicken. Extra firm tofu also works well, but will add a little extra flavor since it doesn't have much on its own. The marinade for that is super simple, just a wee bit of Chinese cooking wine, aka Shaoxing wine, soy sauce, toasted sesame oil, and I'm adding a wee bit of black and white pepper. Coat your vegan chicken, oyster mushrooms, or tofu in that. If you're using tofu, add a bit of mushroom seasoning or nutritional yeast. Then add cornstarch and mix everything well. Actually, you could have added the cornstarch in the beginning, but this is just my habit. Set that aside and start cooking the onions, just for a few minutes until they are soft. Then you can add sliced button mushrooms and the marinated ingredients. We just want to heat everything through and transfer that to a bowl. Quickly rinse the pan, dry it off, and make our roux. That's just vegan butter or refined coconut oil and flour. We're going to cook this over low heat until it's a bit toasty smelling, just a couple of minutes. You'll recognize that aroma, the same smell as when you walk into a Hong Kong style bakery, so buttery and a bit sweet and full of promise. Then put those cooked ingredients back in, add water, soy milk, mushroom seasoning, and salt and pepper. I have to admit, just before I shot this video, I put the last of my soy milk in my coffee, totally forgetting that I was saving it for this. So just pretend that I added soy milk here. It does make a difference to the final flavor, so try not to leave it out. I've turned the heat up to medium, and this will thicken up in just a few minutes. And when it does, give it a taste and add salt and pepper if you like. Then transfer that to a bowl and chill it while you make the pie crust. Start with making a flax egg. Whisk up ground flax meal with water. Let it sit for a minute before adding room temperature vegan butter or refined coconut oil, or vegan shortening, up to you. All of them taste great in this crust. Also add vanilla at the same time. Vanilla in a savory pie? Sounds weird, but go with me on this one. Once you whisk that in completely, it should be super creamy looking. We can add our dry ingredients. You could do this in a separate bowl, but I am lazy. This is my lazy way. Flour, icing sugar, cornstarch, soy milk powder, baking powder, and a pinch of salt. Soy milk powder can be a little hard to find. I got mine at bulk food store, and you might find it at health food stores too, or online. Every day I thank the universe for internet shopping. Stir that all together, and eventually it will get crumbly like this. It will hold together if you pinch it. If you use shortening or coconut oil, it will be more crumbly, but that is not a problem. Trust. Now we'll wrap this up in plastic and chill it in the fridge for 20 to 30 minutes to let the flour fully hydrate. Take this time and give yourself a quick facial, catch up on some What I Ate Wednesday videos, or practice some responsible adulting and wash the dishes. I don't know, this is your 20 minutes and there are no rules. Alright, time to get your muffin tin out, silicone and parchment liners if you want to use them, and preheat your oven to 375 Fahrenheit or 190 Celsius. Divide the dough up into 12 pieces and kind of form them into balls, kind of. Then roll out 6 of them into circles, kinda, they don't have to be pretty. And fit them into your tins. I'm using silicone tart things so they will come out looking prettier than if you put them straight into the muffin tin, but don't feel like you have to. Everyone knows I make ugly pies, but this crust is way more forgiving than your regular flaky pie crust. The dough may break, will probably break actually, but that's not a problem. Just squish some crumbs into any cracks. Then once you have all of those, fill them up with your chilled filling. You can overfill them a bit if you like, but that will make sealing the top a bit more tricky. If you don't overfill, you will have a little filling left over, but I see no problem there since after all this work, you probably want a little snack anyways. Finally, pat/roll the remaining 6 pieces just large enough to cover the tops of the mini pies. Then gently seal the edges by pressing your fingers all around. I'm trying to make my pies a little less ugly by adding a crisscross pattern on the top with the back of a butter knife. Totally optional. Then add a couple of steam vents with a toothpick or skewer on top. Not optional. Unless you don't care about the crust exploding off the top. Okay, they probably won't explode off, just crack and look unattractive. Good thing they will smell attractive regardless of looks. Another optional step is to add a wee bit of glaze. This is aquafaba, aka chickpea water, with maple syrup and a bit of oil mixed in. Then bake your mini pies for about 25 minutes or until the top is lightly golden and a bit browned around the edges. Let them cool for about 15 minutes before serving, and voila! Totally vegan Hong Kong style mini chicken pies. So delicious! The crust is tender and sweet, but not too sweet, and the inside is creamy and savory and just so good. Perfectly sized for a nice tea time treat. But be warned, eat one and they are perfect. Eat two and you might feel like dying because they are like super rich. At least for me, 2 is too much. Let me know what other Hong Kong bakery favorites you'd like me to veganize next in the comments below, because I feel like I'm on a bakery roll. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe for more delicious vegan recipes every Friday and what I ate videos on Wednesdays and more in between because I love you. Bye for now.